Going forward, Tony K will ascend. Bullets been splashed against the wall there. Zayala ascends now, pin pulled. Zayala's going to make it confusing, make it difficult. Pin's put back in again. Two players do step up to the plate now for Furia. The reinforcements are in. Isolated, no more. Joker and Tony K will have to fight for their lives.
Close quarters combat. Nay pulled, bounced round. Not going to deal any damage though onto the Furious squad. They know how to play in these sort of lobbies with this much pressure, with Smash looming over them. They can dig their heels in deep and start to stand strong, but it's one step at a time. And E-Arena are the first challenge for them right now. It's Godlike that are also just on the periphery of this, getting information for free with all the noise that's being exchanged between the two squads. Chief further back on the other side of the bollards, throwing the nades in as well.
Kind of an interesting setup here because they've got a big old split on over towards Testract and Neox. Very dangerous area to be in. So again, for E-Arena, you do have Schweppes as well as Mormon in the backlines and Stadium. They're waiting, poised, because they're sort of certain this fight is not going to go well. Require a bit of a sick play. It's a couple of plays from Tony K and Joker to get this working.
Tony K, he's just been arming that nade, waiting for an opportunity to get the most out of it. Yeah, quick head count on the util. He's only got 2 nades and the 1 Molotov in the back pocket. Fury is starting to clear out the building. They want to go floor by floor, but they run into Joker. Good first hit. They respond back in kind. A 1-for-1 trade. And Tony K with a nade. That's one of the 2 thrown out. It was a good primer, but no direct connection. He's going to be baited down as well. Could be stung from the back here. Oh, the bounce is big. Turn around as well. So close, Blank, but couldn't hit it.
So close. You can feel in that moment there was almost a clutch potential. Luckily for E-Arena, they can move back over towards Stadium, move back into the circle. But what a long journey it's going to be to get over towards Lo Hua Sing on the eastern side. Fourth Rise, though, you're right, man. What they've been doing so far is good. Kalash was talking about it earlier, wants them to be a bit more aggressive on those entries. Lurking around the outside edges a little bit too much when they have the gumption, they have the capability to play those central positions. But for E-Arena, I think they were just gambling with the points there. If they get the full 4-man flush, then massive addition to their points tally. Still, getting those 10 points isn't always easy. Doesn't always come on that first game. Nongshim coming in from that north side. S2G do have a player down in the dirt. Looking to get him res back up again, but Nongshim with a pretty decent injection on that northern side. Gives him a lot of maneuverability. A lot of capability to actually gatekeep on the northern edge if they so wish. Maintain control of some of that higher ground, some of those roads that teams will want to cross back into.
It's almost poetic. It's been twice inside of this game. We've seen STG and Ulf going against each other. Ulf coming into it to start the day here. They were in 8th place. I believe 61 eliminations over the course of the finals. Up to that point, they were in a pretty good form when it came to fighting. They just got to maintain that pressure. 2 elims here. We've got the rotate coming over from Aurora. Furia out of the mix early though, Blank. And that's not what we expected to see.
Godlike, though, 10 eliminations. You can only imagine that full squad wipe over towards Fury came through from Godlike with a small assist from Fourth Rise. Yeah, Godlike certainly trying to put their name on the map today, but it feels a little late for them. At 67 points, they can earn those big rankings today. Grab some more cash on board, a bit more pride for the country as well. Overall, really big step up in that last day, which is why I was saying on day 1, you got to give these boys time. It's their first time at an international here at PMWC, so realistically, they just needed a little bit of acclimation, essentially. And once that was done, they looked pretty damn good going in towards the later portions of yesterday and already starting out strong here on the first game of the day. Circle continues to center up around Meiran. S2G controlling a very, very good spot. It has been good control over the center for S2G throughout the majority of games. Some very good rotates. I mean, Solke has been in the game such a long time at this point. And that veteran mindset is really coming into play here, where he's seen a lot of these circles before. He's seen a lot of these rotates. And he can really lead the team to victory. Yeah, some of the gun skill maybe isn't there for this guy, but he's still giving it gas when needs be. I think Solke's had a great step up, considering the amount of time he's been in this esport.
You got a lot of talent on that roster. You can pass the baton too if you need to rely on someone for a sick play mechanically as well. So certainly armed for some good fights. Talking of which, Aurora getting line of sight over onto the Vitality migration as they wanted to make a move straight past. Few shots on target, resulting in them going down to a 3-man squadron. And it's Horror that also have a similar flight path back over towards the zone. I'm curious as well, bro, the push down from Nonshin Red Force, thunder-footed their way into the zone early. I was saying the consistency of this team looked good, but it's the fact they've turned on this aggression. They're willing to fight for a good position now, Blank.
I mean, playing over towards the northeast side of Meiran, I mean, it's a bold maneuver, right? You don't try and play to hold out teams on the outer edge, but they don't get themselves too stuck into Meiran either. But they have accessibility to the rest of the zone. But this is a livable position in what is a bit of a dastardly circle. Now, E-Arena, we saw them coming in very late. They played over towards Stadium for a long, long time. Go for the recuperate after 2 players in Tony K, as well as Joker went down to the Fury a lot. Just on the heels, though, of OG.
Mormon's going to jump out. He loves a scrap. In the meantime, the Elim feed's lighting up and the crowd's getting excited because Godlike, it looked like it was a struggle of a fight versus Ida, but they've turned it right around. They lose 1 player and are able to clean out the entire squad. So goodbye, good night, Ida. The second team to exit stage left in our opening game of Rondo, whilst E-Arena continue to chase OG.
Yeah, keeping it pretty cool here inside of E-Arena. Smash ruling always changes how these teams play. So crazy as well. Godlike's just hit the 14th elimination on this game. They are cracking it open at the moment. Looks great to see. But yeah, for E-Arena, I do think you're getting ahead sometimes, where for this game, for them, doesn't matter so much about getting ginormous points, but what does matter is just getting enough so you open up the capability throughout the rest of the day to hit that smash. But you can get in your head about it. You absolutely can. Circle moves over towards the western side. Nongshim is extremely pleased with this shift, as they were already in Meiran, as we stated earlier. E-Arena was a little bit slow to the punch. Vitality finds the first here in top, but Axel will go down once again. Aurora has been hounding Vitality the entire game.
No punches pulled there. Clean uppercuts. And with Vitality out, they'll be able to save their mate, get top back on his feet, recover from this. They saw the rotation from Horror, hard committing to get past them, now trying to get into the zone themselves. Meanwhile, Nonshin Red Force actually getting vision of their entry point, and they've instantly dispatched 2 of the players. They're pincered as well, Velula on the other side. So this is a ton of info for Nonshin and some extra points.
Look at this shot from Doc. Really, really good stuff. Double spray down on the roll-up is crazy, even before they get anywhere close to the compound itself. And not a single dash of damage sent back his way. Very, very nice initial game here from Aurora, but they have a long way to go. Nick the Galaxy currently holding the backside on that southern edge. S2G blasting bullets in as Alula holds back Flash over towards the water side. Aaron out in the open, waits for the reload to come through and then makes the cross. Good timing on that one.
These 2 sides hounding each other the entire time on Rondo. Feels like they're mirroring each other. Ooh, Orangutan from the side getting a look in as well. Solke feels that one. Got a drop off. Meanwhile, the team with a whole load of elims and Godlike wrapping down potentially to get a bit of a scout over towards the setup from eArena, Blank.
eArena would be really bad to go out right now. And I can actually tell that eArena is playing fairly passive because they didn't take the opportunity, despite being ahead of OG, to hit Mayran hard. OG's actually been able to take up that position. But eArena, they want to live this game out. They are really giving a lot of teams liberties right now just to survive. One knock goes back over towards Godlike's way. They will reassess, but it's not carnage just yet.
No, it's not, but it is a little bit of a crowbar that's been dashed at them, slowing them down on their potential aggressive play. That was from 4Fribes as well, by the way. And yeah, we're hyping up the Godlike maneuvers, but they're currently sat on 11 elims themselves. And if they can vie for control of a decent position off the back of this skirmish inside, hey, maybe 4Fribes are coming alive early.
What's great for 4Fribes, right? In PMGO Season 1, they were sort of the back seat because they came in with Smash Point very early on the first day. And I think that pressure got to them a little bit. It went all the way to match 6. They weren't able to put a lot of points, but they managed to make it through. eArena, though, sending over. Joker does need to reinforce those backlines. Good shots from Schweppes, but immediately gets taken down by Huzaifa at distance. Manya up to the rock, but realizes he's got to push back off this one. Tony K, full broadside here. Manya should be able to pick up this flush. Good nade again, though. Now just S-Power. A lot to do, but this is the man to do it.
He's the clutch factor. Whoa, saved by the bell on the nade, so low. Able to keep his head above water for a few more seconds.
Good bounce back.
Squad,
oh my God.
Bounces over, shuts down S-Power. Salme out, Adamino the only one left now. That deployable cover barely keeping him alive.
3 players up still for eArena, looking to get further into this game. Admino might be able to go for the res if he goes for it now. I think they're going to sweep round in the vehicle, try and figure out what's going on back there. S-Power still down, knocked. Schweppes moves up, goes for the drive-by, has the information, and that is Godlike out. So a good refresh on the gear, at least for eArena. Some more nades available, more ammo. They could swing back down towards that compound on the south side they held earlier on, because this is a hard south shift away from Mayran. eArena getting thrown a bone here, but still they have 3 players. They are not at full force. Let's see how they play this out.
In the midst of this, that elongated battle that's gone on the whole map here between S2G and Ulf continues, edge guarding them coming out of the blue and keeping shots on target. It's worked out slightly worse for Ulf, down to a duo, but we do say goodbye to Solke on S2G, so a triple threat remains there. There was some fighting over from Nonshin onto OG inside Mayran as well. They were taking pot shots at them, so a 3-man squad living on amongst that. 4Fribes consistently keeping their head on a swivel as well. They were peppering bullets over to the eArena encounter with Godlike. Yes, they got some knocks, but none of those converted into points.
S2G desperately trying to make the cross right now. A couple of shots, but the vehicle, it is very low HP. Smoking now and on fire. They have to get out, but they're just about in the zone. Same can't be said for Ulf there, but Alula's going to continue to put the hurt on. I think Enigma Galaxy wanted to move around on that eastern side, see what they could pick up, but all those points have been dashed away. Still a 5-pointer on the game with the 3 players that Enigma Galaxy hold. They're on the other side to eArena. I like this, though, actually. They've got Joker as well as Schweppes playing the northwest edge, whilst Mormon holds down the compound. They're looking for exit frags here, Jackie.
You see the conversations there between S2G. It's an intense day. Got to clear the bag instantly off the back of a game 1 like that. And Mormon did set himself up just as you suspected early, and then have played a little bit more of a scouting play to keep themselves at least aware of what's occurring up between the setup of 4Fribes and OG. There's been a lot of noise, a lot of free info from that.
Don't mind this too much. Just trying to create a little bit of a dip to play around as players will attempt to leave from Mayran. That's OG on the north side. Likely first to leave. It's a gamble play, but they know they're close now. They know they're close. As soon as they start getting into those placement points, they get a couple more eliminations. They're set. Their goal in this game was far easier than most. Not looking for that chicken dinner, man. Back up into Mayran. Goodness me, we went back down south, back up north, and now Schweppes has got to go pick up Mormon. Plays up by the roadside. Not definite this ends in the urban area. Enigma Galaxy might want to make a send soon. OG loses one on a knock. Not flush though. Fourth Rise looking fantastic right now this game. 11 eliminations, holding a strong 2-2 split inside of Mayran, controlling both the run out from OG and scouting towards Nongshim.
With Nigma turning their attention onto Flash, you can see Schweppes had already identified their setup far over. He was waiting for an opportunity to actually shoot some bullets their way. That was the call for it. No raw connection from this. He'll spot Satan on the rotate with the vehicle as well. Still debating if he can actually get some pot shots here, trusting in his source from distance. And this is also amongst the Lula that are pushing up onto 4-5s. They knew they were fighting OG. They took a few pot shots, but now Quick's trying to take at least a little bit more aggressive space off them.
I think we're going to see in a struggle position, and E-Arena can play very slow here. They don't have to peek too much. Ralph already down there. Should go down to the play zone. Enigma Galaxy is going to try and go for that southern push on this one. Like you said, Schweppes identified their position very early. The shots are coming through. They don't want these points to be stolen from the players inside of Mayran. Schweppes opens up, but looks like those points might be going another way. Nongshim getting some great damage, just playing into that engagement between Alula as well as Flash there. Gonna be longer nades on this one though, Jackie.
Decent chuck. That one might be good. Bounces into the back. It's chip damage, but no conversion. Ooh, bursting just in front of Satan. They've got one smoke to try and pop. Hey, this is dastardly. You are trapped in a hellish position whilst the other squads are scrapping through each other, so the lobby's starting to thin here.
It's tempting for E-Arenas just to push this. Getting in towards 6th place, right? You're very close to that point with 2 eliminations. You could just sack your game here to go for it. Joker's going to try and get a different angle on this one, move up over towards Mormon, put some more emphasis over towards Mayran. If we go a little bit further south here, the game actually does open up for E-Arena mainly. Fourth Rise also have a good capability of leaving from this area. Wonder how many vehicles they've still got left with the tires in play. Yasser will take down Bozy, and that's the end of Flash. I mean, Nongshim Red Force has been consistently peppering that engagement, but it is Alula who's got away with the majority of the points on that one with 11.
Yeah, there's been a lot of harassment of all of these squads from Nongshim and 4-5s, consistently taking pot shots out, making the fights more uncomfortable for either team involved. For E-Arena, if Nongshim actually keep this up in terms of a safe placement in the zone, some big plays, you might need to shut them down. Going to pull slightly away from their setup, though, centering up around the 4-5s crew of E-Arena, knowing they can advance a little bit on this.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity now for 4-5s going forward. Get a chicken dinner here. You set yourselves up to get potentially into Smash ruling by match 2, by the end of match 2. Very cool to see both E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force. None of it was small talk at the start of the day. They were certainly looking to make it very, very difficult for any other team immediately going into match 2. Putting the worry on, requiring teams to keep tabs on them, potentially even hunt them down to keep their tournament alive. Because as soon as they smash, the game's finished. There's no longer any more opportunity to rectify those mistakes from previous days. You will just be locked in where you currently stand, which is why it's such great news that 4-5s are having such a big pop-off here on game 1.
They're bringing the heat, showing that they're handy with the steel. And for Alula, try as they might to absorb points from this lobby, they're so far down that it's been uncomfortable.
What happened there?
I mean, it was danger close, mate. He got one knock onto OG, but it took down a member amongst the commotion for 4-5s.
224 netting out for Lack, like you say, a bit of an accidental play there, but not the one you want to see. Always praised for Lax gunplay. Basically a legend in close quarters, so to lose him in an urban finish, disastrous result here. Hyunbin, though, will find R3B. To send a nade over the top immediately to confirm. Is that in the window? I was going to say, that is a long lob on that one. By this time, it's a bit more difficult to hit that one. But OG lose WizGod. He's getting picked up, though, off in the distance as OG moves in, but it's Joke from the sidelines actually finding Aru. They're consistently harassing from this outside edge. Played that compound down towards the south side, and then just playing off this ridge side around the road, but ooh, it is time to leave now.
Gonna have to force the issue, jump back behind the driving wheel and get into the zone. For OG, it's so uncomfortable because you are just being completely cut off from all angles. The back line's covered by E-Arena, nades from the front in from 4-5s. They cannot peek in any regard.
Flips.
He's going in crazy. Okay, into the building, 4-5's ready for it. Zypher strikes first. Sweep, sweeps under the rug. Goodbye, good night. T24 with a nade from the top. He sees Joker, but it's Lord that steals it from Nigma Galaxy. Nade over onto WizGod in the meantime, as well as Yasha falls to Hyunbin. It's all turning into carnage.
More man. Last left alive here. I think it's one more placing they need on this one, Jackie, as well. One more elimination would also do the trick. They want to get themselves up towards 5th place, but it would be so awful to go into match 2 1 point away from Smash ruling. Does not have a position to play, though. Everyone's completely looking his way. Might have been better to hedge his bets down towards Nigma Galaxy and just try and take a one-on-one trade. Just wonder if they actually know how many points they've currently garnered on this game and how close it gets them. You'd expect them to, right?
And honestly, for 4-5s, it's probably worked out in a way with that charge in.
Oh, no.
Oh, mate, the nade on Mormon. Okay, goodbye, you.
Oh, they're on it. They're on it. So it was. 6th place is fine. We're good.
Whew. They're safe for now. That's what they needed. And with Schweppes charging into that compound, he gave them some extra ammunition. They were having to make concessions, Blank. You can see about 80 rounds of 5.56 left for them. So they've been able to restock up. Nonshin, though, still making plays, and they got loads of ammo to spray with. Shots down on target from XCY. Hits onto another man. OG, you have just been trapped, taking punch after punch for so long. They're punch drunk in the back line.
For Nongchin Red Force is where all the storylines converge. Chicken dinner would be ideal, but a few more eliminations and a 2nd place would get them in towards that position. A pitched battle between Nongchin Red Force as well as E-Arena going straight into match 2. Good nade over the top from AKOP, opens up the door here for them to move in. Zypher leaning onto this one. AKOP's down, leaving just WizGod. Goodness me, Nigma Galaxy's still going, and it's Lord of all people. Oh, finally taken out, but top 3 now. Nongchin Red Force ever closer to a chicken dinner and set themselves up alongside with E-Arena at the top.
The solo savagery was nice to watch, but now it all goes down to the 2 squads that were in a prime position on Rondo for so long. The duo of 4-5s versus the full force of Nonshin. They charge up onto the compound. T24 top side. Zypher rearming himself. Shotgun to play with if they come charging through the door. So easy. Dashes the nade onto the lower levels. Wants to ascend up. Nade in. Masking some of the sound. So easy to peek this. Looking for the 3rd angle. Just through the window. Catches a glimpse, but they read it right. They try and keep him pinned back. He's got to heal.
XZY, got to be a good nade through the window. Good damage off the back of that one. The burst is lovely. The play zone will take down Zypher. And Nongchin Red Force start the day off with a chicken dinner. Can they grab another after this to close down the entire tournament? They've got Red Force, they've got Daka. This team looks good.
Nonshin have seen red, and the aggression has come out when it's needed. Fighting harder, pulling out huge eliminations on Rondo and still playing so consistent with their setups.
I mean, a technical back-to-back as well from yesterday. Last Miramar into first Rondo. Nongshim is just a different beast coming into these last 2 days of finals. Especially coming off such a long eight-game day set into day 3. You're in the finals. It's getting nerve-wracking. You just open with a chicken dinner. These guys must be so confident.
They don't look rattled. They don't look bothered whatsoever by the sheer pressure that's on their shoulders. We know there's going to be a new champion, and Nongshim are eyeing up that trophy. They want it branded with their organization, their legacy. And if they keep this up, Lang, there is a decent chance they damn well do it.
Just fantastic stuff. Good to see Nick McGuice as well. Lord stepping up right at the end there. Fourth Rise also making some more aggressive plays, which is great to see. They had some familiar faces. I think E-Arena panicked a little bit, but they just about made it right at the end there. Losing for Lack for Fourth Rise was a fairly big deal, but OG also getting in towards a late game. Aru making some good calls that match. I think Nick Begaisi also was very resilient that game to get where they did from where they were playing, so difficult, and then Lord able to sneak his way in.
Oh man, you were bigging up Lord earlier into the tournament, right? Saying it's the fact that you've got Hoops and Lord, that sort of collective in unison that's doing so much for this team. And again, there, in a situation where it felt like you were out, Lord goes off with the solo shenanigans. Oh yeah.
Hey, do you know what that is?
He's got the Brandon on the go, mate.
That is the stamp to get into the Winners Club. Nongshim fighting, we'll be back soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick, producer of PUBG Mobile. For the past 8 years, PUBG Mobile has continued to grow together with players around the world. And even today, we are still fully committed to this battleground. We are continuing to invest more resources, improve the experience, and bring PUBG Mobile to more players in more ways. Today, I'm excited to share something important with you. New app, PUBG Mobile Lite. First, PUBG Mobile Lite is not about making a smaller game with a smaller experience. It's about maintaining the high-quality PUBG Mobile standard while giving players a lighter and more accessible way to play. We know that different players have different needs. Some players want the full PUBG Mobile experience with the richest content, all sorts of highest quality gameplays, and everything the game has to offer. For those players, PUBG Mobile will continue to be the best choice. But some players want to jump into battle faster, save more stories, and reduce the burden on their devices. That is why we are creating PUBG Mobile Lite. PUBG Mobile Lite is a lighter version of PUBG Mobile, built for players who want a faster and more flexible way to enter the battleground. The initial download is only around 1 GB on Android and under 2 GB on iOS. There is no extra mandatory package before your first match. Once the download is complete, you can load in and get straight into the battleground. We also made PUBG Mobile Lite more flexible. You can choose which extra modules to download based on how you like to play. At the same time, PUBG Mobile Lite is still connected to the PUBG Mobile experience. The classic Arango map, supplies, and core combat are designed to match PUBG Mobile, so the battle experience remains authentic and uncompromised. If you already have a PUBG Mobile account, you can log in with it on PUBG Mobile Lite. Your own items can carry over, so you can continue using the outfits you love. You can also team up with your friends on PUBG Mobile, so your squad can stay together with no social barrier. Going forward, PUBG Mobile Lite will stay updated alongside PUBG Mobile, so players can enjoy new content together. We are targeting an official launch PUBG Mobile Lite later this year. Please stay tuned for more updates, and you can pre-register in the store from August 25th. Whether you are discovering PUBG Mobile for the first time or returning to the battleground, we are excited to welcome you to PUBG Mobile Lite. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you on the battleground.
We will see you on the battleground. PUBG Mobile Lite pre-register August 25th. I'm excited for it, Max. I know you'll probably end up making a video about it on your Instagram, which is what? Remind me again?
It's Maxman Cast right now on Instagram. But no, I get comments, I'm not joking, Seven,
Yes.
every single day about PUBG Mobile Lite. When is it coming back? When is it going to get an update? It's getting an update later this year. Oh my goodness, the world is going to be loving some more PUBG Mobile action.
100%. I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are. But I'm excited for the match that we just had here, because E-Arena definitely able to cross that threshold for being in the Smash Zone.
I mean, they truly analysed the situation. They had every opportunity to get rid of NGX from that, I guess, southern side of zone, but no, they kind of already knew that they did enough to hit the threshold. And I mean, it was kind of all to Mormon's sort of intel on OG and 4 Thrives. They had quite a bit of line of sight on them, their position in zone, but incredibly calculated from them. But of course, we gotta talk about the tippity-top 4 Thrives right now.
We do got to talk about 4 Thrives because we were expecting aggressiveness out of this team, and boy, did we get it.
Boy, did we get it. 4 Thrives coming in hot today. This is exactly what I wanted to see from them. Did they slow down just slightly when I would have liked them to be a little bit more aggressive onto OG, onto some of those other teams, you know, as the zone started closing up around them? Yes, a little bit more mobile, just a little bit more aware. However, they bided their time. They were patient with what they did. When it came time to actually make those fights, they were able to just flip the switch, turn on that aggression, get those eliminations, and so many points. They are just flying off that leaderboard. This is why I said yesterday they still can do it. If they have a day like they just had in this run, though, if they continue doing that, they still can do it.
Especially when you have a player like IQ, the IGL of this squad, putting up the numbers, performing for this squad and clutching up. But we also got to talk about Notch and Red Force because they were the winners of this match, Max, and they played that out perfectly. And I think they might have been able to also pass that threshold.
Yeah, like of course GG4 Thrives, but Nongshim Red Force doing so much parkour in the city, swiping every other team under the rug. And actually, they're trying to aim for 122. I believe they did make it. We'll check out the leaderboards very soon. But Nongshim Red Force giving E-Arena an absolute run for their money. And it is so rare to see 2 teams on the very first game enter the Smash Zone. It might have just happened today.
It might happen today, and something that might happen today is that we might see teams that might not be challenging for that first place putting up great performances, and we saw that exactly out of Godlike. This squad came to play. This squad has absolutely nothing to lose, Slays, because they were going after elimination. Actually, before we even talk about Godlike, I want to see what the overall is looking like, where the teams are currently standing, how far away some of the other teams are from there. Nongshim Red Force is actually in first place with 123 points. Now we have 2 teams that are able to win in the next match.
Oh my goodness, by the way, E-Arena should also be colored, I'm pretty sure, because they are also in the Smash Zone. You just need to get above or tie 122 points. So if Nongshim Red Force or E-Arena now lays, get a chicken dinner, that's it, tournament over, and we will be crowning our champions.
I know, and it's so incredibly exciting because both of these teams, especially when it comes to those sort of placement points, look at Nongshim at 40 placement points, E-Arena with 34. They have every opportunity and drive to be able to secure that chicken dinner. Now, Seven, you asked me a little bit about Godlike, which I know was on the second page. And the reason we want to highlight that is because they were sort of sitting more under that middle threshold. But with 10 eliminations early game, another 4 as they sort of rotate in on that northeast side. And then S-Power recovering the team to bring them back in. But I want to give like a kind of a little special shout out to Admino having an absolute banger of a game too. I think it was about 7 eliminations just by themselves, and they were able to sort of scout and hold that, and just getting like that 15 elimination points on the board is insanity, especially from where they were sitting earlier today.
But I want to check real quick the rankings. We did see for a quick second there. 11 points away for 4 Thrives now. Jumping around from the middle pack. 11 points away from top 3. The comeback is happening.
This is what I keep saying. This is
4 Thrives comeback?
4 Thrives comeback?
4 Thrives comeback? Because this team, I actually got a chance to talk with for life. If you want to check that out, go to my Instagram at the 7WG. But we're now seeing the race to Smash. There you go. You see 4 Thrives, 23 points away, which this is a perfect start for that team, getting more than 15 eliminations, getting in the top 2, and now they are just 23 points away. And if we know anything for this squad, with the way that they're playing, with what we have seen out of them in PMGO Season 1 this year, they could make it in the next match, as long as one of the 2 teams at the top don't end up winning it.
Well, exactly, yeah. So this is the case, this is the scenario where, you know, neither of those teams, Nongshim or E-Arena, they don't win next match. We do go into game 3. If 4 Thrives are allowed another good win, I say allowed because we don't want any hot dropping going on. They might get targeted, you never know. However, if they're allowed one more game, if we do go into game 3, 4 Thrives need another top 5. They need another several points, 8, 9 eliminations, there we go.
Yeah.
Another few of those, and they are in Smash Ruling. They are a contender, and they could just do a back-to-back global win.
And I think we did end up getting today, Maxman. I think we might have gotten a Maxman grenade of the day.
Oh, really? Did we now? It's time for your favorite segment of the day. It's Maxman's grenade of today. Let's check it out. Which player's going to be here? It's going to be in the city. This 4 Thrives. It's Falak over there looking for a KOP. He gets it done right away. The man is an absolute menace. But he's too much of a menace because T24 had to take him down. Oh!
Give him a boom boom back to the lobby. It's Max grenade of the day.
I like some background music for you, Max.
That was a great. We got the drums, we got the jingle too. But yeah, for that team, I mean, overall, it's a great start here for the final day of PMWC at EWC 26. A great performance out of those teams that we were expecting a good performance out of, right? We talked about already E-Arena having to do what they needed to do. Now Nongshim being able to show up when they needed to show up, starting off great here with the win as well. One thing that we do need to talk about is possibly this team's being targeted. When I say being targeted, I don't mean getting a hot drop right away, but we are going to be looking at those rotations, because if we look at E-Arena, E-Arena has 2 wins so far this PMWC in Erangel, and in the finals, E-Arena has already gotten 1 win in day 1, match 3 in Erangel.
Actually, I do want to say, I was talking to Kalaris earlier. Nongshim Red Force, they got back-to-back wins, right, on the island finish. So that's going to be something that you got to keep into mind also, because they did win PMMI by Smash Ruling. Literally, all of the storylines are merging together in favor of the South Korean team of Nongshim Red Force. They could be looking fantastic. But of course, that's if E-Arena get a win, or if Nongshim Red Force get a win. But if Tura, we got to keep in mind, it's not Rondo anymore. It's no Recall Tower anymore, meaning the teams that are not currently in the Smash Zone is going to be even more complicated for them to reach 122 points.
Oh, absolutely. And then you've got, you know, when we've seen this a lot of times in, you know, Smash Ruling last day, all of this sort of stuff, you do tend to see other teams actually go ahead and change their drop location to avoid getting targeted. But you're right, Seven, right? We are going to be looking at those rotations. We need 4 Thrives, we need Nongshim, we need E-Arena, we need Enigma Galaxy as well. All of those teams. Aurora did not have a good game at all, so they're still chasing that. They need to make sure their rotations are on point, that they might change them a little bit just to avoid any early eliminations, because right now, it is now or never. We got 2 teams in Smash Ruling. You do not want to take any chances going out earlier.
You're gonna have to use those spidey senses if you're currently at the top. If you're 4 Thrives, you want to continue your frag out. Here you go. You can actually have it back now. Thanks so much for letting me go. If you're some of the other teams, E-Arena, Nongshim, you gotta watch out for everything going on your way. And I know right now around the arena, we do have a special guest rolling by.
Spider-Man is officially back in PUBG Mobile. Some of you may remember the collaboration in 2022, and this time he's returning to Erangel. Suit up and explore the brand new Central Square. You can move across rooftops, run across ceilings, and hunt down enemy squads. But it wouldn't be Spider-Man without the powers. So, you can grab Peter Parker's gloves and you can web swing your way around the city, or you can even use your webs in combat to slow down or trap your opponents. And of course, there's so much to discover beyond the fights. You can visit Peter Parker's apartment and hunt for hidden Easter eggs inspired by the world of Spider-Man. From Peter's messages, to secret clues, to hidden surprises that you're going to have to find yourselves. And remember your favorite Spider-Man movies? Well, here's your chance to recreate those iconic moments. Maybe you pull off a perfect rescue, maybe you escape a fight by swinging away at the last second, or maybe you and your squad just stop everything to take the perfect Spider-Man shot. So, if you haven't jumped in yet, grab your squad and experience Spider-Man in PUBG Mobile. Also, Spider-Man isn't only swinging around Erangel today. We have got Spider-Man on stage right here with us right now, and he didn't come empty-handed. He's going to be handing out PUBG Mobile merch in and amongst the arena, so make some noise for Spider-Man!
It's good to see the heroes back in action on every single front, from Spider-Man to Hyunbin and the rest of Nongshim. Heroes is the name of the game today. These teams have been heroes in their own right. For Nongshim Red Force, what a push to hold down Meiran and find their way to that smash zone. E-Arena held their nerve. They played that west side well, and they just got across that line. It was surgical precision on that 122.
Surgical is the perfect word, because Rondo did not disappoint. Yeah, we got Spider-Man here to save the day, but we got two massive threats in the lobby now. We've got E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force that can end the tournament right here, right now, with one single chicken dinner.
That's all it's going to take. We saw Nongshim just do it. Can they pull it out the bag again? But it's not just those two teams. As the desk, as Blank and Jackie were saying before as well, there are other teams waiting in the wings, now staged with the points that they earned from that previous game, from that Rondo, to jump into the smash zone. There are probably at least 6 teams that can do it this match and join them. So if we don't get one of those smash chicken dinners, it is going to get hotter and hotter as the day goes on, because I don't think we're only going to see 2 teams breaking that barrier today.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to get on the cast here for it to at least cast one game, right?
Absolutely.
This is absolutely insane here. My hopes and dreams are coming true. Could we see 6, 7 teams in the smash zone with one single squad that could win it? That would be insane. At the same time, though, right? You gotta stop these 2 squads, because if E-Arena or Nongshim Red Force win right here, that's it. This tournament is over, and one of them is walking away with $500,000.
Hey man, I caught Coach Pecco for Enigma Galaxy on the walk over to the caster booth just now, and he was saying, I asked him, hey, you gonna target? And he was like, if we know it's them, things might get a little bit nicer. Hey, you know, I can't say, but yeah, I feel like that is the sort of situation where teams who are certainly below those top 2 will really hard commit if they find one of these teams in a fight. The third-party targeting will definitely be high on the menu for a lot of these teams.
It has to be. It really does. I got a chance to talk to Knight, as a matter of fact, the coach from Furia, and because in Brazil, these guys have had so much practice when it comes to the Smash ruling. Furia themselves have smashed in multiple of their regional tournaments. So I was talking to them, I was like, hey, exactly the same question, right? If you see a couple teams in the Smash zone, will you guys go out of your way to take them out? And they said, well, at a certain point, we have to. You know what I'm saying? We know what's at stake. If we have to risk a bad game to ensure that we can continue in this tournament to possibly come back, we're going to do it, right? So even if it's a crash and we lose the fight, we're taking a couple of those players with us. So the whole lobby, honestly, really needs to have that kind of same mentality, because if you want to be able to move up the leaderboards, there are massive jumps in prize pools as we go from 3rd, 4th, 5th place. So you want to be able to stay in this tournament as long as possible, and this one's going to be a fun one. We got a nice Eastern Circle.
I don't know about nice. It's certainly an Eastern Circle, though. It's going to push all the way out towards Milta, east of it, and Milta Power. Lepovka's in there as well. A lot of water here, Jukes. So that is going to be tricky to navigate. Nick Galaxy will not be getting hot drop currently, but Ulf might try and step in. Ida clashing with Tianba over on the western side. A very, very close drop.
And of course, we got our big threat in the lobby on a bike. Finally finding a vehicle here. And they're going to go ahead and be looting all this north side of Georgeville Hospital area. And since it is such an eastern circle, right, I wonder how much these teams are going to be kind of even thinking about possibly a rotation camp. Things like that are going to start coming into play here. And
yeah,
man, this is going to get intense.
Yeah, a lot of teams looking to put pressure on as the fight in near Gatka between Ida and Tianba is still popping off. Remember, this is an adjustment from Ida to move out this way with the plane path as south as it was. They are going to get stuck straight in with Tianba, and neither team is looking super happy about it. Aching on the inside of the building. Swain on the top floor now has Eagle to contend with as well. Drops a nade down to the ground floor. He tries to fend off the remaining two players. QZZ unlikely to get picked back up here. Does bleed out in the end. And a step forwards. Swain rebuffs. One more barrel, but it's not enough to blast it back. Tianba survived, but with only two players. And Horror can just move in and maybe just sweep this one through. A very strange hot drop coming through over on Gatka.
Terrible. I mean, honestly, Ida's disrupted this lobby so much, and Tianba are devastated. Now down to just two single players. Aching jumps out, just desperate, trying to do something for his squad, and Eagle is just standing still, just saying, like, not like this. Not like this.
Horror have been a little bit quieter during the course of these finals. Not the fans, that is, the players. The fans have been plenty loud, and we've loved it, but they haven't quite had the performance that we were maybe expecting from them coming into the games in these finals. It's not going to be enough. I don't see them catching up when we've already got two teams in that smash zone. It is a bit unfortunate. It is not great, but they can look pretty good in game. We know that. And one of the ways that you can look good in game at home is with the Naruto skins. Make sure you're heading into game to pick up the character sets, the Ninetales Fury Org, and you can look as good as anyone taking on those ninja challenges.
Yeah, get that ninjutsu going. And honestly, yeah, it seems like Aura, OG, they're going to need to bust some of that out if they want to be able to make a crazy run for it. Mathematically, it is still possible, right? If Aura, they start with 3, they're going to need a 20-point game here, a 20-point game in the next one, and maybe even another one after that.
It's triple back-to-back.
It's triple back-to-backs, you know what I'm saying? We still have enough games to do it. It's just going to be tough, especially considering that there's going to be quite a few teams in that smash zone very, very quickly here. That's if this game even continues on after this one. So a lot of different factors to play out. The problem also is the fact that we get later and later into this tournament, the desperation is going to raise tremendously, right? So these teams in the mid-pack are going to even start playing hyper-aggressive because they're going to know, right? Their coaches are going to tell them, hey, man, look, you made it all the way over here to Paris, all right? You either get 20 points or this was all for nothing at a certain point, right?
Well, there's still placements on the line and all of that sort of thing. I'm just looking at the map at the moment, and I'm seeing that Nongshim Red Force might be in with their first fight in a moment, which is going to enlighten the rest of the lobby as to sort of where they're playing, what sort of conflicts they could be running into. A 2-2 split across Milta right now for Nongshim, as they did not fully or firmly hold the bridge against Alula, so that crossing does come through. And that central glut of teams, and now they start to take shots. Alula in the hovercraft have plenty of armor to rebuff the first volley, but there's more still being flung down range, and that's going to have to divert them on the long road. They find the knock, and there's the flush. Nongshim Red Force extract the first point.
Wow, okay, so they end up getting a point on that. Pretty wild. And Alula are in this next circle, down a player. The thing is, though, if any team nearby happen to hear those shots, they know where Nongshim Red Force is now. So that is going to be a factor, but they are in a really good spot for this circle for now.
I mean, teams should be aware, right, of where they're playing based on the fact that it was Alula that they knocked, and Nongshim Red Force generally going to be in this sort of location. They'll know that Alula are coming up from Novo. So it should be a pretty certain bead on it for a lot of teams in the lobby, but nobody is likely to send out this way. Maybe Aurora could try and crash into it and cause some problems. Vitality are actually holding the west bridge, which is interesting, over on that ferry pier side of things. So if Aurora decide, you know what, we're not going to go over to that east side, we're going to try and break west,
Vitality is still lying in wait for it, which I'm not too sure about. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here as you got some pretty wild rotations here. Speaking of wild rotations, we got NigmaGalaxy rocking their 2-2 split.
The same again.
Same again. You know, I actually talked to Ralph a little earlier this morning, asked him, like, hey, you're going to continue to do it? They're like, yeah, you know, it's worked for us in the past. We're going to try it out. We've noticed that on the west side, had a little bit of unluck with some pretty crazy pushes. But we're going to give it our shot here, and we'll see if it pays off for them.
I mean, they did win a chicken dinner from a circle similar to this, on a rotation similar to this. Obviously, it was a different lobby. It was a different time. We were different people, Jukes. We were so much younger.
We've grown so much.
Yeah, exactly. We've come so far. But they're going to look for that regroup at some point. Getting through for that regroup is really the difficult part that we've seen for NigmaGalaxy on this regroup rotation. Getting through the glut of teams right now, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. They may have to go on the boat, maybe head up all the way north of Lepovka and go all the way around. That would be, I mean, maybe not sensible, but possible, certainly. It's difficult, and they are going to get on the road right now to see what they can find. E-Arena are also starting their move in from South George. As we can see, we're on board of them, just passing the north side of school to head towards the center of this circle as it centers up on that Milter Hill near prison and mansion.
Rotations are coming as we are zooming in to Erangel. What kind of circle are we going to get here? All right, just beautiful center up. Very typical. A lot of these teams were expecting this, and they got it. Now you see NigmaGalaxy, right? They're going to be on both sides of this circle. It's going to be very difficult for them to get to their teammates here, so we'll see how this pays off. But we still got some teams still trying to get in this zone. E-Arena pushing in super late because they land over there in North George. Aura still in Severny. And you got Vitality going on the other bridge here, so they're going to be super late in the circle as well.
Yeah, Vitality's still on the west bridge. I don't like it. I think this is way too long. You're overcommitting. No one's turned up. Not too sure what the game plan was there for Vitality. It's not the same team we saw from their stages.
Sad.
So
Yeah,
unfortunate.
It's the same thing we saw in PMGO too.
Yeah, it's a big drop-off, which I'm sad to see. NigmaGalaxy, they get their back duo caught up in a regroup, and this is exactly what I was worried about. It's only going to be Lord. His vehicle's on fire, and he goes down because he hops out. As it's on fire, they lose their back too. I guess, yeah, Ralph, keep doing that. See how that works out for you.
Yeah, I saw his player cam, and I could see he said, what the heck? You know, oh, what happened? How is this?
Why are there players here in the middle of the circle?
How did I get knocked?
What? Oh, that's crazy.
That's super unfortunate. The 2-2 split, man. I mean, losing players like that is so rough. We'll see how it all continues on, though. That's if we have another match after this, because Nongshim Red Force are on the south side of Milta, full squad, looking dangerous. On the other end, you got the other Titans of the lobby, E-Arena, holding down the north side. So both these teams able to secure position as a full four-man team.
A vice grip on the circle right now, and our teams will look to try and slip that. This is a replay on Lord getting knocked. You can see he drove up. It was actually the hop out that got him. He'd already taken enough damage and hadn't slowed down enough. He hopped out of the vehicle, kept that momentum, and it was the fall. He hit that ground a little bit too fast.
The ankles.
Just rolled the ankle, man. Rolled the ankle. And now Coops and Satan have to do it all on their loans. And it's a bad time. It's a bad time. I feel like it may have worked before. Teams maybe weren't necessarily expecting something like that, and they weren't looking for a duo to be rotating in such an early fashion, especially because they know, oh, well, these players haven't lost, so it should be a full four come from there. But there's been enough games now when NigmaGalaxy have done this that teams should be like, oh, yeah, that's what they do. Let's just clamp down on that.
You know, it's one of those strategies that I don't know whether to be. It's just one of those strats that's just like, okay, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We don't see
one of those bad ones. Yeah, I've heard of those.
It's bad when it doesn't work, right? That's the thing. Is like if it does, it's like, wow, maybe more teams should try this out. But after that, it's like, I think we just stay together. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, especially considering that they're in 5th place, man. If they would have got a 20-point game here, boom, they would have been in that smash zone. Let's see where this next circle goes, though. And things are going to start heating up because we get a nice center up. E-Arena are going to be over there in Lepovka, so they're going to have to fight their way into this next circle. But like you mentioned, it is a vice script right now. North and southern side. is where the big threats lie. In the middle of the map, though, you got S2G, you got NigmaGalaxy as that duo. Ugh, they had 4, right? It is what it is. But you got Team Flash on that ridgeline, too. That is a very, very strong spot. They can be able to hold a lot of real estate there.
That's true over on the east side, but I feel like they do need to move into the west edge of it a little bit further, which is exactly what Bo has decided to do there. They have to transition forward. The 3-building compound that sits sort of in front of them is viable, but it can be very difficult to hold against teams up on the north, especially if you get crashed. Multiple angles can crash onto it as well, so a little bit tenuous when you have to leave that ridgeline for Team Flash. For Nongshim, they're going to play nice and isolated on the southeast side. Remember, it's not big point-scoring games that are necessary. That's not what's going to be weighing on the mind of Nongshim, of E-Arena. It is just that chicken dinner. Be the last player standing. That's the only thing that should be running through their mind right now to try and secure that tournament title, the global stage glory.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. And I hope it doesn't change their play style, because I'm thinking back to PMMI where Tianba had such a massive lead, and they kind of employed that same strategy. Like, hey, let's just put up some basic points. They had so many points, as long as nobody smashed, they were going to win it for the most part. But they changed play styles, and they paid the price for it big time, going from what we thought was going to be an automatic first to like 3rd place. So
yeah,
we'll see how Nongshim, who definitely learned from that, if they're going to replicate it or play the game that got them here in the first place.
4 Thrives in that last match were able to ignite those afterburners, send them into the stratosphere on the point scoring. And now 4 Thrives want to keep that pace, but they're kind of cut out on this northwest edge. They are boxed in by that prison cliff area on the east side of them. They're going to have to pick a direction and commit. Towards Vitality may be a good idea to start, but you've got Godlike behind that, and maybe Ulf on the top, on the lip of those prison cliffs could be a target as well. But either way, it feels like a third-party target.
I can't lie, I'm so hyped for Godlike right now. After seeing that Rondo match, they put up so many points. If they would have won that fight with E-Arena, it would have, who knows where they'd be on the leaderboards here. But they put themselves in a good position. They're still in 10th place, 72 points. They're going to go for the back-to-back chicken dinner. They realize it, like, hey, we got to get it done here. If they do, it would be the comeback of a lifetime. You know that their fans are excited. They're hyped up.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for this next zone. And it's going to go on over to the northeast side. And which team gets blessed here, John?
Team Flash, right? E-Arena on the north side, on that road down from Lipovka. It helps them out. I wouldn't say blessed, though. I feel like they are still in a little bit of a dangerous position, especially with Horror descending on them. Look at that eastern sweep. That could be dangerous. That could be trouble. As Coops takes a knock in the meantime as well on the south side, bleeding out another player. Not good news. But Horror, look at a crash maybe towards E-Arena. I do think it is Team Flash that has been the most blessed by this zone, though. On that northeast side, it's exactly what you highlighted, right? That ridge line, the buildings in front of it, really, really good. But only if it goes out their way. Well, guess what? Here we are. And now S2G try and push in. They're being denied access. As Horror clash with 4 Thrives, who have, okay, they've lapped over the north side of prison, and they're third-partying on the rotate here on the north.
Fights happening all over the place. Now we're going to be looking at NigmaGalaxy. Satan, all by himself, going to be challenging Al-Ula here as we switch over. 4 Thrives get eliminated. That is a huge loss right before the 100-point mark. There goes NigmaGalaxy as well. That's 5th and 6th out.
And now Aurora up, trying to sweep past Nongshim Red Force. As Horror picking up those points is a great result for them. 7 eliminations now on the north side, right next to E-Arena, who take a knock as well. Turney K has gone down. S2G battling for the middle of it and taking damage from every single angle. Ulf will do a lot of damage to them, but S2G managed to weather that storm. A lot of damage across the board on these rotates, Jukes.
And then here we go. We're going to catch this fight here as S2G are hurt. Vitality very, very close near to them. And it was OG that are putting up some points on the board. They end up getting 1. Kamikaze on the other end now finally the fight has calmed down, but this is a battle for the central position in this circle.
I mean, this is another team, S2G, who is within reach of that smash point barrier up to 122, but they have just had the win taken out their sails. 113 right now. They need to get 9 more points on this match, and with 11 more teams alive as a solo Kamikaze, has he got something magic up his sleeve? I do not think so, which is going to leave Aurora to really be the only challengers to that smash point duo.
And Aurora are definitely a threat, that's for sure. 110 points, 12 is super easy for them to get in this kind of position. They're gonna have to fight their way through it though. CS Power getting a knock from Godlike. They're down to 2 players, and that is WizGod gonna get that confirmation on 2 Power. Only 1 player up left for Godlike.
Oh, the Arena did manage to just roll over to the ridgeline there on the shoreline. But Mormon's been spotted. Okay, Sky is still going. And the Arena not safe yet, not out of the woods. As Godlike and Orangutan still continue to clash. Up the stairs, Godlike. Look for it, but the drop down is caught. And there's the crash.
Here it is.
Take one down and the Arena fall. Only one team can stop it all now. Longshim with a big opportunity on the south side, but they're right on the edge.
The whole lobby breathing a sigh of relief now that at least one of the Titans is gone. It's still up to Nongshim Red Force though. They're on the south side, playing carefully, waiting in the shadows to strike. It's only a matter of time here. They're going to think, yeah, you guys fight it out. But you better watch out.
Ooh, a big south shift, and Alula are looking tasty for Nongshim. Look, they're already in those vehicles. XZY wanting to keep Overwatch on the angle as well. Maybe take some shots out that way. How fast are Nongshim going to be able to mount up? Because Flash have already regrouped to the triple stack buildings on the north side of this next part of the circle. The west edge with Furia and Orangutan also needs to conclude and try and find a way down the hill. The Deadwood is so hard to navigate, though. There are these really tricky defilades, and there are players lying in wait.
Speaking of lying in wait, yeah, you can see Nongshim Red Force. They don't want to give away their position. They don't want the lobby to know where they're at right now, so they're playing it very, very quietly. So take a look at this replay. Schweppes, popping them out the vehicle, but the crash from Aura, so strong here. And they shut down E-Arena. Huge fight for the whole lobby.
Absolutely. Arena remain on 122 as well. Doesn't mean they can't win it all next match. They are still in the smash boundary.
Yes, they are.
So even if Nongshim get 30 points and don't win the chicken dinner, they could still take it all away with a 0 E-limit.
Aurora want to put themselves in the smash zone here now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Here they go. They're going to start pushing, trying to find a position. They got the Wizard Tower. Are they going to take it? Nope, pass it up and decide to go for this hill line here. Good strategy. Got to be careful, though, with those shots from Flash.
Yeah, there's...
Throwing down some smoke. I like how they put one vehicle in front of the other, so they at least sacrificed one, but they should be able to hold on to at least another one here in a second.
They're going to have to pick a point to go, and I feel like sure, Team Flash can be taking shots right now, but the west side is going to have to conclude, and fairly quickly. Someone is going to look to crash Team Flash. I can guarantee you that at some point in this match.
Yeah.
But it may be a little bit longer than we were anticipating. I mean, as I said, the Deadwoods have a lot of those defilades, the hills that slope down from the top of this ridgeline. This tree cover has a lot of rocks to play around. You can sort of stutter your way forwards a little bit, but later on you're going to have to find something. Oh, spot over onto Doc. They know who they're fighting now.
Well, they will once that thirst happens.
There it is.
And there it is. So now they know 100%. Nongshim Red Force is right here. Aurora are going to put every single amount of their resources to make sure they can stop them.
It may well be worth it with all the teams around them going down fairly quickly. Just sitting here waiting for Nongshim to roll out, stepping through, sacrificing shots to Team Flash. They may look to try and just block the road, shut the door in the face of a smash victory here in match number 2 today, match 14 on the series.
To be fair, this is going to be a very tough win for Nongshim to get. They're in a really, really tough spot here. They are on the edge of the circle. That broken wall is covering them for now, but this next zone is going to make things interesting. But here we go with a huge battle. It's Furia versus OG. Furia in 8th place right here. They need the win. Oh, that nade looks good. That should get a confirmation. It doesn't, some way, somehow. Bad nade there, but all of a sudden, They are able to get some knocks. Silence is going to go into the building, eating some blue zone. Furia are getting peppered. Little by little, he gets away with just 1 HP.
Oh, WizGod steps out. He's looking for more. He's got the shotgun shells under the car. The blue zone's ticking, but it's not going to matter. WizGod strikes back against Furia, but now Horror here, and he's got a sliver of HP to play around with. They'll know he's here, and Fear rolls over the top of the hill. WizGod, what? He didn't see him. Should hear that. No! With his back to it. Will take the shots, but not find the knock. And he will be put down. In the meantime, the roll-up from Nongshim.
And they're off. Here they go. Nongshim Red Force on the rotation, trying to find a spot in this zone. Tires get popped. Team Flash knocked down Tizzy. It's up to the 2 players from Nongshim to end this tournament.
XZY trying to regroup now on the back. The reloads are coming through, and he may be able to sneak his way into the dip. And Aurora now have Nongshim set before them. A gauntlet to run through, and then one that they will charge in headlong. Nades first. Zul, Reefus, and Top wants this retribution. Draw this game to a close without a smash point victory.
Aurora throwing an absolute bombardment onto Nongshim Red Force. They know they're the threat. They're going to use every single piece of utility they have to finish this team off once and for all. Not able to find those other confirmations. Vehicles are getting moved out the way, though. That's the coverage that Nongshim Red Force desperately need. Looks like they're playing a little game of ping pong with that car.
Ooh, but Aurora starting to suffer as well. They have to move forwards, and now they're in the firing line of Team Flash. It may well be enough to stop Nongshim from winning the game, though, and that seems to be what they were trying to bid for. All the while, by the way, Kamikaze is still alive, so can't discount him just yet for getting the points that he may need. It would be a very long road, though. Hyunbin and So Easy now find the final blow, struck to the heart of Aurora, who draw their game out on 113. No! They will fall to no smash. Not here, not now.
We're gonna see a game 3, folks. Get excited, get hyped, because now's the chance for a lot of these teams to start pushing their way up the leaderboards.
How far can you go here, though? I mean, for Team Flash, this is a golden opportunity to jump up placement points, to jump up, get a little bit more cash under the belt, be a higher ranking finisher. They have all 4 of their players alive. They're looking pretty chill. As I said before, S2G do have the slimmest of opportunities. For me, it's Kamikaze needing to grab some third-party points off a fight that Team Flash has.
Yeah, he's just trying to sneak it enough points to sneak his team into that smash zone. Any point matters, though. I really got to give some major love, though, to Aura. Look at them. 13 eliminations. This team is trying to make a comeback of a lifetime, and this is how you do it. Got to get this win, though. Anything less is not going to be enough for them to make that race to the top.
I mean, even when you do get it, it's still a long, long road for them to try and find. For Kamikaze, he needs to profit 6 more points on this match. Those can come from either increasing placements or getting eliminations to join that smash point bubble. But this next circle comes in, it's not going to have him in it. It does push Flash into into a few of their locations, but it looks like they've spotted him. Kamikaze is there, they roll up, he's put down, and no longer do we have that storyline. The battle at the bottom of the tables rings true for the final 4 here.
This is huge. Everyone's trying to move up their placement here. Like, again, this is a massive prize pool. Every single placement up is big money in the bank. Aura, though, this is the game of a lifetime for them. This is one of those opportunities that gets your squad excited, gets them pumped up to finally start putting everything on the line. You can see Team Flash, though, they're in the mix here. Aura trying to push from the edge of the circle. They're going to start throwing all their util onto Vitality. That's the threat. If they can hold that rock and secure that position, this could be a solid chicken dinner for them.
Absolutely. A big chance. The nades keep on going forwards. 13 eliminations on side, and they want to add 2 more to the tally. Sky and Jiggle into the fight. Razak goes down first, immediately putting him out of business, out of action. Sky looks for more as well, and they turn it on. It's just too hot.
Aura are on fire. 15 eliminations, but that game looks dangerous. Gotta watch out. That one hurt, and now it's up to Sky. All by himself. Aula looking to stop the insanity that Aura has put on display here. Here they come. Yasser moving up close and personal to be able to secure this high ground. Team Flash on the other end, putting some suppressive fire onto them as well. Aura just trying to lick their wounds, trying to find their way, but it ain't gonna be enough. That is Aura down to one single player.
I like Team Flash's proactivity here. They didn't waste time. They didn't hide in the buildings. They stretched their legs and moved out towards this north side to get control of the zone. This is what we've wanted to see from a lot of our teams, and I'm glad to see it now, even if it is potentially a little bit too little too late. For them, they've got 10 eliminations here, so Aura, they're on 15, but there is a real chance that they could catch up. A Sky is still cooking an aid, and Alula are gonna have to worry. Okay, he puts it back to the shotgun shell.
He's not moving a muscle here, and I don't think Alula realizes that he's even still there. They have to know there could be a threat in this area. But Quick is just hopping in the vehicle to get a little bit of extra third-person perspective and get some sight lines. Plus, he's protected in there. He has no idea. They have no idea he's there. Hello! He missed the shots, though. Sky gets the knock, but gets shot in the back as Win from Team Flash shuts down Aura's run.
Pretty mighty flub there on the shotgun, hot over the bonnet there. Probably didn't realize, but Quick didn't know he was there and thought, oh, well, I'm gonna have to go for the fight. He's gonna stand up for it, right? Right? Not to be. Ooh, a cheeky little pick onto Zeus, and actually Bose is quite low. Over the top though, Tops and Win look to put pressure onto Quick, and remember, Alula only really have 2 players to play around with here, Claws and Yasser. Looking to navigate closer to the middle for Yasser, but Flash can regroup on 3. Claws has a lot to face down on his lonesome here on this angle. Needs a big nade, needs to find a knock pretty immediately, and is already taken down. Win steps through with the AUG. Puts that one to bed, and a second volley of fire over the top of the rock sees Team Flash to the chicken dinner.
I'll take that one, that's for sure. Over 20 points in that game. A massive one for them. I guarantee you, their coaches, everybody was telling him, right, hey, this is what you need to do if you want to make a run of it. And this is a start, right? This is a start. It's still a long road ahead, but now the road is there. You know what I'm saying? It had to happen in this game, and they got it done.
That's what you need to do. When that clock strikes, you've got to hear the call and step up to that plate. Unfortunate that Nongshim and eArena couldn't really get much further into that one. That Aurora hold on the eastern side, it stopped them really from being able to break out in the way that they wanted to. Flash were an incredible suppressive force over the course of a lot of that final set of circles, so really, really great stuff from them. But yeah, it could have been very, very different if Aurora had played that slightly in a different fashion.
For sure. I mean, unfortunate for them, super fortunate for the rest of this lobby, as we're going to go into one more game for sure. Now, as far as teams that are still within that Smash Point threshold, I believe it's still going to be the duo, right? It's still going to be the 2 teams. But another opportunity in this next game, right, for more squads to be able to push their way on up. As we're going to take a look at the replay here, Team Flash, great job of being able to finish this game strong. Win especially, just boom, putting the nail in the coffin. That's how you do it.
I just didn't want to mess about, you know. He knew,
Let's get this game's over.
Come on. Let's go next. Keep the pace, because they do want to keep up that pressure. If you're on a run, now is the time to hold on to that momentum. There is no more runway that you need to cover to take off on this. It is just today. There is nothing that you want to leave out on Erangel and let it go to Miramar, because you may not reach it. No one might.
Just look at these players' faces. Straight intensity. These guys are locked in right now. They know exactly what they need to do in order to make this happen. And it's going to be on the back of a ton of eliminations and securing those wins, all while stopping eArena and Nongshim Red Force, who had a great pincer on the end of that circle there. But, you know, I think teams now especially have understood just how threatening this smash rolling is. And I think they're going to do extra and beyond to make sure that they can stop those 2 squads.
Absolutely. I mean, there is so much pressure on so many teams. I think that, again, I'm gonna go back to my old favorite hobby, it seems, this game of giving a little bit of hate over to Ralph, because Enigma Galaxy, that 2-2 split did not work. It was really kind of catastrophic. And hey, you know what? The position that they went to, that they tried to go for on that east side, was where Team Flash won from. So could have been different. But we're gonna head down to the stage. Kalaris has a little interview for us for some inside information.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Here with Nongshim Red Force, Hyunbin once again to get some insights on what's gone on so far. Let's talk about the Erangel that just actually happened. You guys find yourself in mini mill to power, but then the circles shift away from you. You sent it north instead of any other direction. Talk to me about that choice. Do you think it was the right one, or do you think there was another path you could have taken?
일단 현빈 선수 첫 번째 질문은 일단 아까 에란겔 경기부터 일단 얘기를 해볼게요. 에란겔 경기 때 사실 밀타 파워 쪽의 공장을 이용하셨다가 이제 자기장이 튀자마자 이제 바로 북쪽으로 지르셨는데 사실 그쪽이 좀 다른 선택권이 없어서 좀 강제가 된 건지 아니면 좀 그게 좀 가능성이 있다고 보신 건지 좀 궁금하네요.
일단 저희 자리에서 치킨 갖고 오기는 좀 많이 힘들었던 것 같고 저희가 오로라 한 명을 잘라나왔고 그 골에서 오로라 일단 한 팀 먹고부터 할 생각이긴 했습니다.
Yeah, we already knew that that shift was actually really tough for us. So what we thought was Aurora was actually there, and we got a one knock off Aurora player. So I think we should have started with getting out, knocking out Aurora, and then we find our footing on the ground inside that circle.
So the Rondo game, you just won another one here. You look always great in urban endings, does Nongshim Red Force. So talk to me about that urban ending. What were your biggest concerns? You had great roof control. So what was your guys' perspective on that finish?
또 론도판에서는 또 치킨을 드셨는데 사실 시가전에서 정말 좋은 모습을 보여주시는 것 같습니다. 그래서 그 시가전에서 특히나 이제 지붕을 통한 영역 그 컨트롤에 굉장히 또 일가견이 있으신 것 같은데 좀 그 점에 있어서 좀 어떤 점을 좀 중점으로 플레이를 했었는지 궁금합니다. 그 론도 플레이 때 시가전 플레이 때 어떤 플레이를 중점으로 두셨는지.
일단 저희 자리가 외곽이었고 저 시가 쪽 한쪽이 비었어갖고 일단 들어가서 서클 받다 보니까 그냥 좀 잘 먹은 것 같아요.
Well, honestly, I think the inside of the city play was actually well forced because we were outside of the circle. But that being said, I think we were kind of lucky because we tried to gain the footing because of actually one of the places are actually empty. So we just find our footing there, and then we just took a control of the roof, and then we maintained good condition and intel.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me, Hyunbin, here once again. That's Nongshim Red Force currently in position on the smash rule as we continue the games here at PMWC.
We book ESPORTS World Cup up.
Nongshim Red Force and E Arena not being able to close it out, so we're gonna keep going. One more match in this one. Team Flash being able to come off with the win there after not really being able to do much for the whole tournament. Great performance out of this squad, but don't forget, for everybody that's currently here at EWC, make sure you guys check out the fan experience. Go look at the awesome stuff between PUBG Mobile and Naruto. Try out Brain Rot Royale. Why not? Because we've been able to try it, and it's quite fun. And I played it way too much. I had to stop so I could actually come here and break down what's been going on in the finals. And also check out Spider-Man. Maybe you'll get a chance to meet him and greet him. But about this performance from Team Flash Max, we finally got a chance to see them perform.
I never doubted. No, I have been doubting a little bit. It's been looking a bit dicey recently, unfortunately. But no, really good hold on the northern side, right? Able to get rid of a lot of threats over in that position. Definitely a team that has been very silent. But before this game, they had a total of 63 points. If my count is right, they just got about a third of the points they've made so far up until now out of all of their games in a single chicken dinner, 23 points. So that's going to get them way higher up in the middle rankings. And let's keep in mind, even if you're not number 1-7, the prize pool distribution is getting way higher on that first half of the leaderboards.
It is. For some of these teams that might be too far away from that threshold of the Smash rule, they're going to be pushing up because there is that prize pool at stake. $3 million that we're going to be giving out. And Horror Esports being able to perform really well, seeing the aggressiveness. This is what we've been expecting out of Horror Esports, the aggressiveness, 16 eliminations.
I mean, it's a real shame we just didn't see this from the get-go, right? From day one throughout to today, because they could have been in a very different position on those leaderboards than we see them right now. But also, just mention very quickly, as we look at the team stats here for Green, Sleepy and Sky actually doing some mega work. They did have some really good nades. They were pushing very well. They are the team that got rid of E Arena in the mid phase of that game, taking shots onto Nongshim there. So, you know, very, very proactive, really looking around them and trying to get as many elims as possible. I think we can call that farming.
They were farming a little bit. They definitely were. But actually, the key thing we have to keep in mind for Horror here is they are the team that eliminated E Arena, which is a team, if you get that elimination, one of the plays, you're like, that's E Arena. That's E Arena right there. Go. Push them. And then they did it. And because of that, right, Lace, they delay the tournament just a little bit more, which really is going to make this event so much more interesting because so many teams can enter the Smash Zone.
I know, and how crazy it is that the top of the leaderboards seem to fall and then these mid teams sort of have that glimpse of hope and opportunity. But that's why we love it here for PUBG Mobile with the Smash Rule, especially. Now, I do want to sort of draw your attention to S2G, a team that is quite incredibly close to that Smash Rule. But if we talk about the first game, we didn't really get to chat to them sort of in that first mid-section. They had a nice recovery, a little bit of a hot drop, couldn't capitalize on as many eliminations as they wanted to. The roughest zone shift for them, they had like that kind of open terrain they couldn't really move in. And then they passed. And then this game, again, it kind of like they're losing their team so incredibly early after eliminations. You saw Kamikaze there on the north side trying to sponge those points, but again, falling short. Look how incredibly close S2G are, 116. They should have done it earlier.
Just 6 points away from being able to enter the Smash Zone. Aurora Gaming as well, currently 9 points away. And teams that were going to be looking to be able to close that gap, especially when we saw E Arena get eliminated. Nongshim really not going for that many eliminations, playing it quietly. Four Thrives. I mean, Four Thrives wasn't really able to do much. And with the win that we just saw to Team Flash now moves into 7th place.
Yeah, really good push up here. Team Flash, 7th position overall. That's going to be an extra bit of money in their back pocket. But the thing is, they're looking very scary. Look at the top three. 3 chicken dinners, 2 chicken dinners, 3 chicken dinners, while the other teams below all have 0, like 4 Thrives, or a singular chicken dinner. So that is really making it scary that the tournament could really end at any point today.
Well, the big thing as well for me is that Aurora Gaming, Nigma Galaxy, and E Arena all finished up that match with 0 points on the board, right? None. Nothing for game 2. S2G is moving up, as you said, Lace. You've got 4 Thrives. Well, also they got 0 points, so they don't count. But Team Flash, Ulf, all of these teams, they are really making a push forward, while those top teams, except for Nongshim, it's getting very close for the rest of those teams.
And in this first page of the overall, there is one big outlier, especially when we're looking at the wins here. And it's none other than 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives, the only team in this first page that doesn't have a win. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, yes, 4 Thrives, if you are able to have a good performance in the next match, at one point, we need to start seeing those wins. if they want to be able to win via Smash Roll.
I mean, even if we bring it back to sort of the group stages, they were sort of unable to get those chicken dinners. Of course, they could capitalize on eliminations, but they weren't really one of those teams that would close out the win. We're sort of seeing this trend now, and of course, they want to sort of get those elims and sponge those points to hit that kind of Smash Roll threshold, but in then, it's still, if you calculate statistically, it's still, their win rate is not really that nice. Yeah,
no, bit
politely.
Tough. But you know what? I'm going to pivot the conversation. I want to bring it back to Nongshim Red Force.
Yes. Let's discuss.
And what
I wanted to take a bit of time here because that was an absolutely insane throw. There are three options. Or you third party to the western side on the mountain next to Lumberyard, or you directly crash into Al Ula, which is what I think would have been a really good option, or you decide to go for the wide wrap onto Flash, which I wouldn't recommend, and they ended up doing. There were so many options to go, but that was like out of the three, Niptra, the one that was not going to give them the win.
And you know what? It's showcased by Al Ula taking second place from the exact position that we were like, Nongshim, go that way, go that way. Al Ula end up going that way, get that second place, and I think if it had been Nongshim with the kind of momentum that they had off the win, they would have won there. It is genuinely not even game throwing, it's almost championship throwing in game 2, right? Because they could have won it, they could have ended it, done and dusted, and they just didn't. They went for a very different play.
Yeah, and especially because of that rotation. If you push Al Ula, let's say, only Al Ula is going to fight you, right? It's literally team versus team.
Literally.
That wide eastern rotate, Aurora's looking your way, Team Flash is looking your way, Al Ula's also looking your way. You're just making it harder for yourself. And Nongshim Red Force have some of the best rotation sometimes, and then they pull stuff like that. I'm very confused. They're a very confusing team. Entertaining to watch, but confusing.
I also want to sort of point out, and this is just kind of across Battle Royales in general, sometimes you only have that one opportunity, and when you miss it, it is now 10 times harder to get back to that same position. You do not get these chances often. And like you said, Neptune, they didn't make that space, they didn't make that play well, so it will be a little bit more challenging now.
And with Nongshim Red Force, especially in that performance, right? I fully agree with you guys. They decided to go the completely wrong way, being within nade range of Aurora as well, even though they ended up out-surviving Aurora. One thing, though, for this team is that when we've seen it in the past, you were kind of telling me this too, Neptura, especially a PMMI. Once they hit the smash zone, this team is so scary because they know exactly what they're playing for, which is just the win, right? Yes, they can get some points. And we kind of saw this here being super passive, the team just waiting for the right time. And I think maybe that's what could have hurt them there. They was just looking for something passive. They weren't looking for an actual fight, and that's why they decided to go with that rotation.
You know what? I 100% agree with you there, Seven, because, they are so scary. They are so patient. And we saw that them lining up on Milta Power there, lining up on that wall, going, okay, what's the next play? They didn't look scared. They weren't going too quickly. They were just being very patient. They were sitting and going, okay, what are we going to be doing next? And then they make the most harebrained, like, under pressure play, it felt like, right? Another team I would have expected that from. Not from Nongshim, not with the presence of mind they seem to have while in the smash point. They are not a team that falls under pressure, and it felt like they just did that moment, so very, very odd. Next game, though, still that chance. No one's quite caught up to that smash zone, so really EA still the only competitor for them right now. Game 3, we can do this.
I'm going to pivot the topic again. Sorry, I'm all over the place. There's so much to talk about right now, but I want to talk about actually the MVP race, which is actually, we could have a dark situation on our hands, which is we saw Eren being top damage dealer, he had a ton of eliminations, and they're currently at the very bottom of the first page. We could have a situation where they're nowhere near winning the tournament, and a player on Ulf could actually become your PMWC 2026 MVP. Got to be careful there because he is in 4th position, but it's Hyunbin, it's Tizzy dominating here for Nongshim Red Force.
It is, and Hora with that performance that we just saw there, Sleepy being able to put up the numbers. Eren, you were talking about it as well, but we have a lot of fans here in the arena. We got 4 thrives, we got a bunch more over there from Godlike. Let's see what Barney's currently up to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've said it time and time again that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fans. We've got so many around the arena, so before we dive into our third map of the day, it is time to check in with them. And so, Furia, Godlike, make some noise! Kilaris, who have you got with you, buddy?
Yeah, that's all well and good, but I've got Enigma Galaxy. Make some noise! Thunderous applause for Enigma Galaxy! What have you got going on, Barney? Let's see, what have you got?
All the chance, Barney, you're not ready because I'm here with Sporty.
can hear the celebration in the arena. I'm sure you can hear it at home as this Hall of Heroes echoes with every fan's hopes and dreams, giving out their energy because the tournament still goes on. Not ending in a Game 2 smash, we run it right back. And anticipation has reached fever pitch here in France. Everyone's loving it.
Having a great time here in the arena. The Enigma Galaxy fans getting ready. I mean, they have played very well today, Lord, making a great showing on that first match, but goodness me, what an event, what atmosphere we've got here in our arena. Lovely to see all the support coming out for our players, for our teams here. Potentially the last match. Ooh, maybe. Felt like it on that last one. Weren't quite able to get it there for Nongshim Red Force. They kind of make a bit of a Hail Mary. Didn't work out. But we do have our third match coming up. Erangel. Nice and steady map here to get yourself a chicken dinner on. Nongshim might be waiting for later on in the day, though. Hitting another big Miramar, but will someone beat them to the punch? Will E-Arena start stepping back up again?
A lot of fine margins and a room that's getting rowdier and rowdier each game that goes by. But we'll focus on the here and now, the present that is the fact. We've been presented with a third game here live from EWC. PMWC has not stopped delivering, and I don't doubt this game will be anything different. We're back on Erangel, playing path established.
Last match, a little bit difficult, honestly. I don't blame a lot of our teams for struggling slightly there. Very, very southern playing path to start things off. Awkward drop spots, awkward rotates, quick switch out towards the eastern side. Not an easy game to confirm a chicken dinner on. This time around, really, really gentle playing path. Straight across the center. No one's complaining. Everyone's had a lovely in-flight meal, and we are ready to get going again. Things spread across the entirety of the map. So a lot of room to rotate, Jackie, but where's the circle?
Well, if history is anything to go by with some of the circles we've had here this event, it might be something a little bit spicy for this one.
It might be, might just be. Fair bit of Sosnovka pulled into play here down towards the south side. We got plenty of water in play. Teams have to start getting their feet wet into this one to make it happen. Those bridge crossings, absolutely diabolical. Aurora, also tough decisions. S2G, bit of a menace team to run into on that eastern side, but Four Thrives have been consistently oppressive over towards the west. So hard decisions need to be made for this squad. They're getting vehicles, likely will loop down towards the south side of the map. They've been praying for a southwest shift on this one. Over towards farm, Nongshim Red Force will get moving. Planting those seeds of destiny. Hopefully get themselves another chicken dinner today. E-Arena far out over towards the northwest side, South George. Long distance on this one.
And of course, for those of you at home that don't want to forget the event, make sure you get stuck in with that Naruto in-game event that's been going on. Pick up that awesome Ninetales Fury org and try and make plays like some of the best we've seen over the tournament.
One of the best right here on our screens in Mormon. For E-Arena, he has been the man. Seriously good stuff from him. So many clutch plays, so many moments where it felt dire and Mormon was able to pull it back for the squad. Looking to do the same here in the final day. They've already achieved the smash ruling. As we said earlier on the desk, the only two teams to currently do it, but do think that that will change after match 3 if we don't end it all here and now. Right now you have that serene sense for E-Arena as well as Nongshim Red Force that there is only one other squad in the lobby that could beat you to the punch.
I do think, mate, with how S2G have looked, if you could come alive here, get a bit of a big boost off this game, they've still got a chance to be a dark horse, to be able to upset in this lobby. And I think we saw some of that talent yesterday when they were fighting under so much pressure as well, in disadvantaged situations from distance. Hamzy G, he was popping off. There's a lot they can do, bro. You know, we touched on Kamikaze an awful lot over the event, but I think it's that duo that brings so much firepower. So we'll see what they got this time.
Hamzy as well as Kamikaze looking great. And for S2G, they're a team that's put up quite a lot of chicken dinners so far, actually. I think they're currently on 3. Looking to break that record, though I think it will be difficult today to do that, since get up towards 5, and by the time they get to 5, they should have also just won at that point. That's a smash. So possibilities of broken records ruined by the format for them. But I do think they would be happy with the win, regardless.
Yeah, I don't think it'll bother them too much, right?
Yeah. So for S2G, certainly a possibility here. Only 6 points on this game that's needed for them. For Aurora, we are looking towards 9. Enigma Galaxy is going to have to be a bigger match. 22 points on that one, which is almost certainly going to be a chicken dinner. But yeah, a lot of teams looking to breach that smash ruling as we come into match 3, which is where it always gets stressful. Hot Jukes, a little documentary style, earlier on today was saying that he'd love to see 6 teams towards that final match, all vying it out for the chicken dinner. Has felt like a lot of times internationals do go to that 6th match no matter what. And even in PMMI, ooh, for Nongshim Red Force, oh my God, he's alive. For Nongshim Red Force, he did go to match 6 when they got that smash. Satan immediately peeling off there for Enigma Galaxy, but they are in close contention with 4 Thrives, who are exiting from Ferry Pier and Yellows.
Four Thrives, they've been loving these fights versus Enigma the entire event. Always able to catch them on their egress. I was just as surprised as you were. He actually got out from that one. But Lord, not lucky enough to bypass either. That back and forth conversation between those 2 teams continues even this far into the event. Emre running down Lord to get that confirmation off.
Yeah, now that idea of getting the chicken dinner and getting into smash ruling feels a little further away. 4 Thrives will aggress over towards Ida. Should hit them up towards the 100 now, so they've also hit the century on this game. Getting ever closer to that count. Nongshim Red Force was able to make a fairly good rotation towards the central position. They like to play around this area. They are cut in with S2G though. Slightly scary spot to be working with. Very central. Still only here in zone 1. Anything can happen as long as they're set up. Position to move from should be okay. Ulf finds S-Power. There is a clap back from Admino, who immediately will flush out Scarface. So full-on engagement here between Ulf as well as Godlike.
Already big shots being connected. And it's wiped up so quickly. Ulf withstand the pressure. They do lose 1 player, but they can get Eren back up, and that's a key piece of the puzzle for them. Keep him in play, reset with the meds, and grab the extra loot.
I mean, for Eren, what a run it's been for him during this tournament. Max was highlighting him on the desk of how much he was able to really prove himself here at this event, despite having some awkward moments, honestly. Still remember his crash into gas station, which went terribly wrong, but even then he is putting up numbers. OG do take a knock there to Tiamba, who have been sadly very quiet after day 1. A majority of the points earned there, if they were able to replicate anything like that day 1 and day 2 or day 3, they would have won this tournament by a mile. Sadly, that's just not the case. Trying to get back into the mix of it now, though, is Milu. So let's look for these nades.
Maru on about half HP there. AKOP in the back line. Ooh, nice arc from Milu. Milu, the madman, when he's feeling himself, he can do so much damage on a battleground. It's got back up from the boys. If they can get out of this one cleanly, maybe they can at least try and ruin some of the runs for the other squads above them. And Milu keeps it going to get that flush as well, so that will remove Aru. Hard cut him out. Blue coming in to make it a bit more suffocating between these two sides.
Quite a few nades already expended here from Tiamba as well as OG. But you're right, in zone 2 now. Blue starts to tickle a fair bit. QZZ gets a bit panicked there, will drop a couple of shots through and then immediately send in Milu. He's just going to prime the nade. That's a nice one from him. Good patience. Lets it go through. Is he going to peek this onto AKOP? It's me. Does not care in the slightest. Friendly fire. Denies the point.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to bounce around, make sure they clean up on that one. Trying to snatch away some of the earnings from it. Good to see Tiamba, though, getting a bit of fanfare back from the crowd and big plays from Milu. I think he was sat on about 11 elims off the back of 3 games back on day 1 as well, mate.
He's a killer, that's for sure. Tiamba lucky to have him. Great to see him back on the team again. Some subs came through yesterday, Shallow in, Milu out, but looks like he is ready to play today. Gameplay looks clean. For Nongshim Red Force, hard rotate over towards that north side. We've got Dip in play, but not fully. At least we did confirm away from the south side. A lot of the water got cut out immediately. A hard shift over towards the northwest, and an easy rotate now for Tiamba to actually get in.
There's Catch popping up in the elim feed. Couple shots over towards the Furious squad. Furia that have been a little bit more shaky today in some of the battles we've seen. Hasn't been as cutthroat. We'll see if that one results in a bit of a flush. Seems like they have grabbed Igor's back up for now, so he'll live on. Nongshim just ahead of the Aurora crew that have made their rotation over the bridge, left of Novka. Oh, are they going in for this aggro?
Aurora might be looking just to swing on the coastal side, deny as much sidelines as possible. Top, though, playing an anchor backstop here, taking some good shots. There is another play here alongside it with Doc. Hamzy G at distance, also watching, so this is a dangerous rotate here for Aurora, because even if they get down towards the beachhead, S2G might have a sightline with Hamzy, and we know just how good Hamzy is at distance. An eagle eye on him. Nades go through, but so easy, brushes them off.
Dirt off the shoulder for so easy. Can't keep this man down right now. 3 of their nades invested, so draining some of the early offensive utility, but it looks like they've still got a good supply, at least on Doc with 5 in the backpack. Meanwhile, E-Arena pushing back up over to Waldorf. Ketch trying to catch an escape plan. Dives behind the driving, but it's not quick enough as Joker will adjust his crosshair and find that one on the exit. Mormon takes a knock back over.
Bit of a disjointed Irish exit there from Ulf. Alula under pressure though as S2G just flies in over towards the garages. R3B in the corner and S2G cleans it up. Not a single player lost. Should be able to get that res. Nongshim Red Force in the meantime, after seeing those players leaving, did get that leapfrog on, so they get a little bit further into the circle here. Milta, not the main feature. If we go down towards the southeast, we know just how good Nongshim can be in an urban finish. Thriving in the concrete jungles.
So no overcommit. Like you touched on, Aurora just controlling some of the rotation paths with the coast firmly under their foot. Map geometry favoring them from this position. They opt to go for the 2-2 split. Rufus and Top further over near the area we see Vitality starting to encroach upon. Whilst Joel and Doc, 2 players with very heavy hands if you do want to challenge them in a raw duel, play off each other.
It's actually a possibility right now with S2G leaving. I don't know if Aurora is able to spot that. They certainly don't see Hamzy G continuing to peak that angle, but now they have free capability to actually make an eastern ramp if they want. Right now they're holding two fairly decent locations in terms of vision onto the map, but they are right on the edge, so eventually they'll have to move. I think likely what's going to happen is they'll wait for Zone 4, make a decision from there of how they want to rotate in. But there's a lot of free space over towards the eastern side, and already Doc is going to scout it. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Get a little bit further up, realize that actually this space is kind of open at the moment for us to get a little bit more of an eye in towards the circle.
That's the kind of premium real estate that man like Doc's going to instantly sniff out. He'll be confident enough to rep himself to take control of. We'll see how this pans out long term for Aurora.
Next circle though. We're going to define a lot of how this works, and we are down towards Milta. Nongshim might be thinking about making a move right now, and they're instantaneous. This is way better than last game. Last game felt late on those rotates. It felt like they were still making decisions. This time they are much quicker with it. Out to the outside edge, not confirmed towards Milta yet. Still giving them the capability to move out towards the field should this move towards the west. But now they're going to have a swivel on towards all the teams around them. Aurora recalling Rufus back towards the squad as teams start to surge towards Milta.
Timing on this is going to be so dangerously tight, though. They all caught vision on one another. Ida have already entered close. Three-man split. Solo's playing in a line there for Aurora with the wrap in late. Rufus, seeing the backline of Vitality, knows he's got to go down towards the coast and then assist the team. Tiamba getting shots off as well. That's Ulf. Oh, you're going to be eating shrapnel on this one. Wide arc down towards the roadside.
Solus and Eren here by the toll gates. It's always an awkward spot, very nadeable. Couple of positions you can play around inside the toll booth itself to try and dodge those close quarters ordnance. Oh my god, there's mollies everywhere. Eren can barely move. He has to find an opening with this nade, but for Ulf it's looking like it's more and more over. XZY goes down to a nade from Rufus. Doesn't push it though. Should be resable.
That's two players knocked as well. We saw Vitality get in the first domino falling onto Nongshim, then the assist coming in from Aurora. The Nongshim Smash squad might have come unstuck early.
It's far, it's far. It's so hard. He kind of needs to get over the top and try and pick him up, but where the vehicle's currently slammed, it's really difficult to do. Just about holds the res. He was so low. Tizzy perched himself on the rubble of the wall. Whoa, that was close, Jackie.
I think we just saw Federales get a single tap onto Hyunbin as well. He was looking for the drop with the smoke, wanted to try and get down there and assist, took a single bullet, had to hit the deck again. Thankfully, smoke's out, limited cover as well with the walls, so the geometry playing in their favor. You can go for another res. They might be able to recover it cleanly.
I think that they won't be recovering, though, is all this utility that they just spent hitting those players back up again. How many smoke launchers do they still have left? Vexy finds Tizzy again. Nongshim under mad pressure at the moment between two separate squads, both looking towards them. Just have to hold on for the time being. Stop peeking, honestly, but I feel like they realize they need to keep these teams on the outside at bay. Arena, though, down in the blink of an eye versus Tiamba. Another team on Smash ruling out, and Tiamba survives as for just. Eagle inside. As always, the lurker looking to play medic for the rest of the squad here.
He might be the Eagle, but there is vultures swarming the skies around him. Other teams realizing there's been a lot of damage done here. It's a risky pickup with a position he's in. Luckily, he's got some cover from the vehicles to try and save his mates. That's Aura, though, with Jiggle getting one of them confirmed off the back of the damage that was done. So they do go down to at best a three-man squad post this pickup.
A lot of teams need to move. A lot of teams that actually fully confirmed though towards Milta now feeling a little bad about this one, which is exactly why you see Aurora playing on this edge down towards the south side and Nongshim not fully moving in. So 4 Thrives, they've got to extricate themselves. Flash have also got to pull themselves out of this one. S2G a little bit safer where they play around the warehouses and they can move up over towards that top side. We're playing over towards Toll Booth later, but it's Aura right now who actually own the majority of the space on the northern edge. 4 Thrives opening up over towards Aurora as they move.
That backline in is good to at least take some of the heat off. Force attention turned back onto 4 Thrives from Aurora. Vitality have just been really running interference from this angle as well. If there's a peek up from Hyunbin, they're harassing with shots. If they can get LOS back over onto the coast of Aurora, it's punishing as well.
For Nongshim Red Force, they know the shots came from Vitality earlier, so this is sort of the team they need to deal with first. The one thing I really worry about for Nongshim, though, is how exposed the vehicles have been this entire time. You got to imagine that wheels are blown out, if not vehicles fully exploded. They do have to move further in towards the circle, likely will be on foot, unless they can find some kind of vehicle in the near future. Vitality's going to go for a mad rotate over towards the northwest side. They hear the fighting, they notice that NigmaGalaxy's down. This is a good opportunity to go for. Vexy helping from the back lines. Really like this push from Vitality.
Ralph's on an island. Last man left alive and not breathing for much longer as Razak will find that adjustment back onto Nigma, so they go down. Vexy's been good as well at providing some overwatch for this squad. Showing up when they needed him. Fury are on the move close by, shots from either side, so a lot of information garnered towards them. They advance further. Silence and Co pushing up with the vehicles, going to peek over the top of the rocks. There's Tiamba in the distance, nades being thrown onto Vitality, a backline potential. Igor goes in, big sprays, assisted by Silence. 4 Thrives taking some damage as well, the pepper back onto them.
Fury's going to move in on this, like you say. Igor's already on that front line. The rest of the team all stood alongside him now. And Vitality find themselves in a very horrendous position. Nades from Tiamba going a little bit wide here, trying to angle these through the smoke. That one should be on target. Easy cleanup. Tiamba grab themselves 10, 11 eliminations on this match so far. Much more reminiscent of the past, and Milu's already on 4.
Furia playing with that confidence and aggression we know they've got as 4 Thrives buckle under the pressure. Furia shutting them down in the close range combat. And Nongshim, after turtling for so long, finally knowing Vitality had been taken out of the picture, they can make a move. They're just wrapping around to where Aurora were.
This is interesting, trying to get rid of Aurora, actually. Only one player here in Reefers, potentially they've noticed that. There's actually a massive amount of space on this western side that they could clear. Tiamba's a 3-man, Furia's down to 2. Circle moves up that way, leaving Tiamba one of the few remaining positions, and we are on Tollbooth. Oh my god, what a circle to end on.
Ooh, deep nades. Reefers casting that one out. Back nades as he advances to try and create a little bit of space between the teams. Distant shots coming in from Tiamba. He's got to hit the deck, but that's not the only squad you got to worry about. Lost from S2G, gets a sight line, and goodbye Reefers.
The only thing is just like kind of flashbacks to last game where there is a massive capability of moving west on this one for Nongshim and clearing up towards that north side, having all that space. You'd imagine that they saw the amount of teams that moved into Milta. They are just charging headlong into danger here, where there is so much more room to play on the northwest side. Guys, you don't need elims. You need a chicken.
And they might get barbecued if they take too much time on this one. Joel was cooking the molly. XCY so paranoid about the peak from the top side with Tiamba. And with Furia not needing to force the issue amongst them, they've got a crystal clear line of sight down onto the rotate path for Nongshim. It's so uncomfortable.
Come back, lads. Just come back off this angle. We don't need to play it anymore. You can wrap back over towards. So easy. 2 down. What is this? It makes little sense. I mean, they'd set themselves up wonderfully the entire time for this western exit. And as soon as the circle moves away from Milta, what do? Push into Milta?
The panic's there. Paralysis by analysis. The zone takes away one of the members, and we're down to just a duo. Aurora Core on their exit as Lost will be able to continue playing powerfully off this angle. XZY thankfully given a few moments of respite as he runs to try and find any cover at all.
Kamikaze from S2G, we talked from the start of the game. They have just about hit that 122 now. So they have hit that smash ruling going towards that next match. Another team steps up to the plate. They've done enough here, even if they go down. Looking to take down Ida regardless. Hams, ooh, what a shot! Reactions coming through clutch there, but Kamikaze, as always, the backbone in the team.
Standing straight and keeping S2G in a position to recover from this. Quick reactions from Ida, but a shutdown play that will let S2G fight on for another day. Flash though getting eaten alive by Hora. Wrapping down the ridge, the nades bouncing in. Tops is down. And Kamikaze scanning to see what more points they can steal.
Hora on for a big game here, actually, Jackie. Looking to push themselves further in the rankings. Only 2 eliminations so far, but so much more to grab here as most teams are bruised and bleeding coming into these final zones. Tiamba also having a good time of it. Nades going over the top here from Nongshim Red Force, rolling down, and we are directly on top of Toll Booth now.
That's okay falling. XZY getting the tags off. They've been under constant pressure the entire time. It's not clean, it's awkward.
Not even a helmet on So Easy here anymore.
Mate, you're playing with a bare minimum. Concessions had to be made, but a nade could be coming their way. Lost with 2 left in the back pocket. The first one thrown in looks good for the bounce. Oh, see ya!
Double bouncer. XZY is down. Comes to the end of his line there. Nongshim is floundering at the moment. Confusing moves. Win though from the back lines, will get the backstab, but immediately spotted out by Lost here. S2G absolutely have done enough, but they're looking to push further into this game, as is So Easy.
They're trying to send a message with this one. It's not just about what they needed to get into Smash. They want to prove that they can be the big dogs in the lobby. Response back over them. Hamza G eating the nade from Hora as Hora are lighting up the sky. Explosion after explosion on top of the Turkish team. They are stuck on the ridge and cannot advance. Backline attack from Tiamba from way over the other side. And Tiamba keeping the pressure on. Trying to get that pick up in. Lost with limited space to play off. In comes the nade. Oh! Sky makes it work and S2G go down.
S2G blown sky high behind the tree there. Let me introduce you to the biggest dog in the lobby. Hora on the northeast side. So Easy with barely a hope in this match, but still hanging on. Furia dashed by the roadside, leaving just Hora, Tiamba, Nongshim Red Force in this endgame. For Nongshim, the best thing about this is that even if there isn't a match smash win, this is keeping them in contention for the top spot, at least.
It's going to be big for the placements. And is there a chance of some sheer shenanigans from So Easy? He's crossing his fingers, mate. But you've got a hard task ahead of you.
This guy's got him. Has to have him here. Just to peeks over a little bit. So Easy's trying to hide his face behind the barest of pylons, behind this railing. It is just not how. God, he has to do something. Oh, they've smoked him.
Hang on a minute.
Cheers, lads. I really needed that.
He's tucked in behind it. There's no real angle from the backside as well from Tiamba, so it just depends. I mean, if Hora go for the hard force over...
This is mad.
Yeah, this could get cheeky quite quickly. Sleepy would have burned down as well. The vehicle... Oh, it's all going wrong! So Easy on the peacock, good for one, and Tiamba assisting with the shots from the top. He's going to try first on these as well.
Hora on the assist with an unreal smoke. Mollies go in, nades go wide, and he is out. Tiamba will clean up.
Nongshim were looking to blot out the sun on that one with a surprise plays, but it's not going to happen now. And Hora solo remains with the advancement of Tian, but the nade goes over. Sky got a backpedal. Runs back to whatever cover he can find. Can he trust in his source on this one? holding the peak, ready for the shots. Eagle gets knocked out of the Sky. QZZ with a reposition as Sky advances forward with a shotgun in his hand. Nade being cooked by Milu, and this man don't miss.
Good damage. QZZ follows up with a second, and Tiamba is back. What a fantastic game. The three-man inside just felt like these guys needed a little bit of confidence. And that star on the match reinvigorates whatever light died out in Milu on day 2. It is back on now, and it is blaring.
They started that game as they meant to proceed. The aggression was there. The despicable nade plays from Milu that always give you that gut-wrenching feeling of how does he do it. Continued from start to finish. The shots are on point. And a pathway begins to present itself.
Aura's got to be mad at themselves, though. Imagine just smoking off so easy.
The smoke into the tire pot on the career down the hill. Oh, but
they really did careen off course there. Looked so good up until that point. Covering their angles, clearing their spots out. So easy. He was mega confused. I would have loved to see his face in that moment. Pure shock. He's like, is that the nade moved away from me? He's like, wait, actually.
That's the smoke. I can blast that.
Nice. That's great. I didn't have one of those before, you know?
No utility left, but they gave him what to be nice. And then Tiamba with the perfect timed nades.
Man. So good. There was a small part of me that thought that So Easy was going to clutch up. Small part of me. But I am glad it was Tiamba.
Oh, yeah. Tiny percentage, but it started to get a little bit bigger with how things were going. But hey, a Tiamba win is a very exciting prospect. Such a fun team to watch, Blank, bringing the heat in finals.
They're just a fast-paced team, and I think what we've seen them from before is just a little bit of that sluggish gameplay where they weren't quite able to make those plays, and they've been desperately banging on that door, but it's just been not going down. And I think Milu right there just put a foot through it. So it looks good. It looks way better now. They're pulling off those maneuvers too. So yeah, great work to Tiamba. Really, really happy to see it. And it was, I think for me, it was fantastic to see these guys happy.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite thing about that win.
It's nice to see him smiling, nice to see the success story of how they're playing. And mate, you're right. I think if there was a door there, Milu not only kicked it down, he just destroyed the entire house.
He's just a whirlwind.
Yeah. Came through, blowing everyone away. And mate, I'd love to see that. I hope that continues.
I hope it does continue as well. For Tiamba, it's not over yet. We haven't rung the bell. They might have been uppercutted, but they have got back up again. The count did not finish. It's scary, no? Going into these final matches, we've got 3 teams at match point right now. It's S2G, E-Arena, as well as Nongshim. Nongshim's been making some crazy decisions. E-Arena, sadly, on the other hand, have just not been able to eke out those performances so far. It's felt a little bit timid from that team. S2G, though, I think this is a worrisome squad to have in that top 3 because they could just light it up at any moment now. Unless the pressure gets to him, which it seems to be the case for quite a few of our teams.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the contrast we're painting there for E-Arena, right? Where it feels like you had some flash-in-the-pan moments, but now it's come to, you just got to follow through. It's not happening, whereas S2G, we know they can strive for greatness. It feels like championship mentality is going hand in hand with their aggression, the way they're approaching these lobbies. All it takes, one big game. Could be a championship right there. But stay tuned for that. We'll find out. The narrative continues. Do not go anywhere.
Human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
fighting until we make it. These teams are in Tiamba, able to get that chicken dinner, full control of the zone. But we have to talk about something that's very important. S2G being able to get into the smash zone now, not coming up short this match.
I mean, I just sort of want to touch on that. From their compound, they actually probably had the better position out of the squad, sort of moving that rotate in. But I mean, we got to talk about like their push on our Ula. I'm sure Max is going to cover this nicely a little bit later. But
yes,
just the, I guess, raw power that they had from start to finish from that game, they were finally able to get over that threshold. Do I believe they should have done it in the first two games? A little bit, but that's okay. They've done it now, and obviously this is one of the teams that can take a victory.
They definitely can take a victory. This is a team that has already gotten 3 wins in Erangel in the finals when we're talking about S2G. If we're looking at some of the other teams looking to get to that smash zone, it's none other than Aurora. I actually thought Aurora was going to be able to make it already. They're struggling a bit today, Max.
Yeah, a bit of a weird hold onto Nongshim Red Force in particular. They're looking kind of weird. But by the way, I want to bring it back to S2G. They not only make it into the smash zone, they've got a 9-point lead on top of E-Arena, which if we do not get a smash, is going back to the OG rules, which is the most amount of points becomes the champion. So right now, S2G are loving it, but so are Tiamba, shattering dreams in this game, eliminating E-Arena, eliminating the final player here at the very end for Nongshim Red Force, man. They are the reason why the tournament has not yet ended.
Hora Esports back-to-back great games here out of them. And for 4th Tribes Neptura, this team, after that rondo that we saw, they're starting to struggle. They ended up the first Erangel with a big old donut, and in this one, at least they secure 4 points.
I mean, at least they do. I did see that they had a really fantastic rotation around from just massive wraparounds into Milta and then out of it. But yeah, 4 points is all they're going to get for that fantastic nades from Hora. Oh my goodness me. You were talking about it, right, Max? Sky is fantastic with the nades today. Really, really on point. And Tiamba, I mean, honestly, the word that I would use for both Tiamba and Hora, they're feeling very intense. You don't want to go up against them. Look at those sprays. Long range, through the smokes. There's no escaping this team.
What are those sprays from QZZ? Oh my god. That was crazy stuff going out from him. I mean, he was just lasering everyone through the smokes. Incredible stuff. But at the end, Hora, another solid finish, right?
Yes.
Sure, maybe not a chicken dinner, but it's a strong back-to-back, but so easy. In that smoke, actually, that was a smoke right from Hora Nitra. I thought maybe if he stays hidden, he could third-party it, but at the end, Tiamba put the nail in the coffin.
That's something that I was actually hoping that So Easy was going to do. He was going to end up waiting a little bit longer, maybe use that smoke to his advantage. But Max, he didn't want to wait for that third-party option. He just wanted to take matters into their own hands. And it goes back to what we're saying with Nongshim. It feels like they're being passive, but they're not quite sure when to be aggressive and when to flip that switch.
They are a little bit hesitant, right? And that's the thing about the Smash ruling. Love it or hate it, teams, the mindset does change a little bit when you do have that chance of getting those chicken dinners. It is quite stressful for now. Not just 2 teams, but 3 teams. S2G are going to be joining their ranks, but of course S2G got 3 chicken dinners so far in the finals, so they're looking like a team that could actually wrap it up. But looking at the rotations this game in particular, I know you in particular, Nipchira, were quite critical